Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going to continue multiplying polynomials today, but this time we're going to pull a little bit extra information out from it. Once again, when I start looking at multiplying these, you're not going to be given the box. You're going to have to draw that box yourself in order for it to be able to be done. We're going to take our 2x and our 4. We're going to take our x and our minus 2, and we are going to be drawing this, or solving this, excuse me. I have 2x times x, which is 2x squared. I have x times 4, which is 4x. I've got negative 2 times 2x, which is negative 4x. And negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So when I go to write this out, I get 2x squared plus 4x minus 4x minus 8. When I combine those, I get 2x squared minus 8. Now, there is something here, okay? We were talking yesterday about what the equation for this looks like. This a is going to be that 2 right there. Our b is going to be the x that would go here. I don't have any x's, so this is basically going to be a 0x. Last but not least, our c is going to be this minus 8. Now, there are similarities there. C here is going to be that y-intercept. It's still going to be that number that we are plusing or minusing at the end of the equation. So, let's go ahead and graph it. Tell me the zeros. And the zeros are, well, it gives us 2 blanks. So let's go ahead and get a calculator in front of ourselves that we can use to graph this. Give me just 2 seconds real quick while I get it turned on. Camera. There we go. We're going to go back to home. We're going to push B for graph. All right. And once again, our equations that we had, open parentheses, 2x plus 4, and we had in the next set of parentheses x minus 2, which I then close those parentheses, and I didn't push minus. Let me fix that real quick, and we graph it. I did something wrong. I forgot the parentheses here. I apologize. That would be wise, not doing this right. I apologize. I thought I had them on there. My bad. Easy fix. So, I've got it here. And when I look at this graph, I can see what my zeros are. My zeros here are going to be positive 2 and negative 2. So, when I look really closely at this, the zeros, those are still going to be as points. So I've got 2, 0, and negative 2, 0. Now, the thing is, I don't actually have to graph when I want to find my zeros. When I'm giving 2 polynomials like this, 2 binomials, if I take each side and set it equal to 0, like that left side, the 2x plus 4, if I take it and set that part equal to 0, and then this x minus 2 and set it equal to 0 and solve those, it'll tell me what the 0 is. Minus 4, so 2x equals negative 4. And then I get divided by 2, and I get that x is negative 2. That's one of my zeros, so negative 2, 0 would be easily found by doing that. I've also got the same here where I've got that x minus 2, and I can cancel it out by plus 2ing on both sides. X equals that positive 2. So 2, 0 is going to be my other point. That will always work, actually. If we look at this and are able to solve for 0 on both of my factors here, both of my terms, we're going to be able to find our zeros. And that's actually what the goal for us today is for us to both be able to multiply these together and to be able to find the zeros. So x plus 2 equals 0. I take away 2. X is negative 2. So negative 2, 0 is going to be my first term, my first 0. 6x plus 3 equals 0. Minus 3, 6x equals -3. And then I divide by 6, x is -0.5. So if I do -0.50, or -1/2 instead would be the same thing, that would be my zeros. To find the y-intercept, I do actually have to box these and be able to get the entire thing multiplied together. So I got x plus 2 and 6x plus 3. That is 6x squared. That is plus 2, not 12. 6 times 2 is 12, so that is going to be 12x. I got x times 3, which is 3x, and then 3 times 2 is going to be 6. So I get 6x squared. 12x plus 3x is 15x. That's positive, so it gets a plus sign. And then a positive 6 here. My y-intercept is 0, 6. Notice how each of these have zeros, but the zeros are in different places. On the actual zeros, on the solutions here, the 0 is the second number because that's where it crosses the x-axis, and that is when the height is equal to 0. On the y-axis, that means it doesn't go side to side, so your x is 0, and your y represents how high up or down that axis you go. We're going to do it again here, where I have -x minus 2 equals 0. When I plus 2 and plus 2 on each side, I get -x equals 2. Divide by -1, because there is a -1 in front of that x, and I divide by -1 here. X is -2. So I go -2, 0 as my first term. I can again go 3x minus 4 equals 0, and that's going to be plus 4 plus 4. 3x equals 4. When I divide by 3 on both sides, I get 1.2 or 1.30, because 4 divided by 3 is 1 1/3, and your calculator, if you push Control Enter, is going to give you 1.3. You could also have written it as 4/3, and I still would have accepted it. Let's go ahead and box this up now. So I've got a 3x minus 4, and then I've got a -x minus 2. 3 times -x is -3x. -x times -4 is a positive 4x. 3 times -2 is -6x. Last but not least, -2 times -4 is positive 8. So I get 3x squared. 4 take away 6 is minus 2x. And then a positive 8. That positive 8 is my y-intercept. So I have 0, excuse me, who's doing this? I apologize. Got it fixed. 0, 8 as my solution. I'd like you to go ahead and finish off those last 2 questions. I'll come by and check them, and then we'll get started on your worksheet.